The Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback situation is a mess. It's a M-E-S-S mess. And who are they waiting on? Old ass, one-legged ass Aaron Rodgers. So what's the move, y'all? It's your boy D Smooth. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on that like button, turn on notifications, because we're going to talk about what's going on up in Pittsburgh. Them waiting on a one-legged Aaron Rodgers who's coming off a torn Achilles from 2 years ago, and over the past few years he's looked at average. And so as far as ownership, the Pittsburgh Steelers are still waiting on Aaron Rodgers to make a decision. I don't know about them, but don't we got training camp coming up in about another month and a half, starting like in July anytime, and then after that you got preseason, and we're already in May, and May's gonna be over with, and you got as far as OTAs and mini camp and all the stuff that coming up in June. So what are we doing? And as far as if I'm DK Metcalf, I'm asking myself, how the hell why would I leave the Seattle Seahawks, who they had a quarterback situation, but I'd rather prefer their situation instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers situation? Because as of right now, if the regular season started today, they're going in with Mason Rudolph as their starting quarterback. If your sentence starts with Mason and then ends with Rudolph, I don't even want to hear you finish it, because that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing. They have a top 5 defense right now as we stand. I believe in the NFL. Their defense is still top 5. You have arguably the best pass rusher in the NFL in TJ Watt. Literally, he can take over a game, he can take over a series, he can take over anything at any given moment. And for him to year in and year out be productive, produce on the football field, be a leader on and off the field, him and Big Cam Hayward, what is going on? You're basically getting wasted by having a mediocre, average offense, just like how it was for the Steelers a few years ago. But only thing is, the tables turned. They had a mediocre, average, horrible defense, but you had a great offense with Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, AB, Martavius Bryant. You had the whole shebang. Just to flip it and have a top 5 defense, but have a horrible offense. And the fact that if Mason Rudolph was that good, why would they let him walk out the door? If Mason Rudolph was really that good, because Mike Tomlin was boosting his head, boosting all of us up, trying to make us believe that Mason Rudolph was the guy, they like what he do and all that. If you liked him that much, you never would have let him walk out the door. So apparently, you brought him back because he's only familiar with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but this is a brand new offense. This is an Arthur Smith offense, and I'm pretty sure Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers have also had some type of communication, but Aaron Rodgers just does not want to practice. And this is a very important time for you to be in all-season training with your teammates, because what are we seeing around the league? We're seeing teams like my Dallas Cowboys in OTAs with George Pickens and some of the rookies that we got going. You know why it's so important? Because Dak is trying to build a chemistry with these guys on and off the field. Our new coach, Brian Schottenheimer, he's trying to establish a culture with this team, because it's been a losing culture over the past 30 plus years now and counting. So he's trying to start that over in OTAs. That's where everything starts at. The continuity, the chemistry, the little things. Practice makes perfect. I don't know if y'all, I'm pretty sure a lot of people's heard of that, but it literally does. Practice makes perfect. Why do you think why him and CD was off last year between Dak and CD? They didn't have enough practice. Where was the chemistry at? Yeah, they played with each other that previous year and years before that, but still, year in and year out, you have to have the continuity and the chemistry. So I like what my Dallas Cowboys are doing. I don't like what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing, because Big Cam Hayward, they're wasting this guy. They're wasting his career. Yes, he's past his prime, but he's a leader on the field, he's a leader off the field, and he's still a really good defensive tackle in this league. TJ Watt already said is probably arguably the best defensive player in the entire NFL. Then you got Joey Porter Jr., an up-and-coming cornerback who's going to be great, just like his dad was, but at a different position. Micah Fitzpatrick, who's in the prime of his career, one of the best safeties we got in all of football, and is continuously being wasted on by the quarterback situation. But the Steelers ain't gonna nobody blame for themselves, because when you had Big Ben, you could have drafted a quarterback and had him sit behind there, but you drafted the wrong guys. Mason Rudolph won the damn answer. These fools even had Mitchell Trubisky on their roster. Mitchell Trubisky had the talent, but he doesn't have the mentality. Let's start it off with Kenny Pickett as well. How'd that work out? Didn't necessarily work out. And when Ben was starting on decline, you never fixed it. You never addressed it. You never set yourself up for the future. You wasn't like the Green Bay Packers, who drafted Brett Favre, and then also you had a 20-year sustain of greatness. Then you turn around and you draft Aaron Rodgers also in the process. Have him sit behind Brett Favre. Have him learn from him. So then you have another 20 years of sustained greatness. Then after that, you draft Jordan Love at the end of Aaron Rodgers' greatness. And what did Jordan Love do? Sit underneath Aaron Rodgers, and then next thing you know, now you have a next 15 to 20 years of sustained greatness from another quarterback. That's what the Green Bay Packers did, and it's working right now. What the Pittsburgh Steelers have tried to do, that ain't working, and they need to hit the reset button ASAP, because they also could have drafted Shedeur Sanders. I don't care what anybody says. Shedeur Sanders was, to me, the second best quarterback in the draft behind Cam Ward. I don't want to hear anything else about these other quarterbacks that got taken. Shedeur Sanders was the second best quarterback, arguably the best quarterback in the entire draft behind Cam Ward. He was a top 20, top 25 as far as supposed to be picked in the entire NFL draft. So he was right there waiting. What did the Steelers do? Went ahead and passed on him. And then they took another quarterback that nobody thought that they was even going to pick. And a lot of people were speculating because Shedeur Sanders did meet with the Pittsburgh Steelers, so he obviously thought, hey, great situation, great leader in Mike Tomlin, great head coach, a great organization, won 6 Super Bowls. The writing was on the wall, and they needed a quarterback. They needed a generational quarterback that can get this offense back to what it was with Big Ben, Bell, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, back to putting up some points on the board. Because last year, the Pittsburgh Steelers, when Justin Fields was there, their offense looked a little bit good. They was winning games mainly with his legs and a little bit of his arm. And George Pickens was mainly the only wideout that they have, and I don't understand them trading George Pickens. But anyway, so then you turn around, Russell Wilson, he comes back from injury. The offense does start to get on the roll, starts to get on a rhythm. But then towards the end of the season, both the offense and the defense fell flat on their face, and they did not look like a championship contending team that we seen from the middle of that year and also the beginning of that year. Now you're trying to fix it. Russell Wilson or Justin Fields is no longer there. They decided they want to move on and go in different directions. And I don't know why they would go in the direction of a 40-year-old drama queen quarterback with one leg who thinks he knows everything. He thinks he's the organization, basically. That's what Aaron Rodgers thinks he is. He thinks people owe it to him for what he did in Green Bay. My dog, that was in Green Bay. And just to let you know, you only won 1 Super Bowl up in Green Bay. You ain't like you won 5 Super Bowls. And you went to only 1 Super Bowl in Green Bay. Yeah, you went to countless NFC Championship games. And I'm going to give you that because my Dallas Cowboys can't even sniff an NFC Championship game. But dog, you only went to 1 Super Bowl, and that was the only Super Bowl you won. So pause the brakes. You're a future Hall of Famer. Nobody can take that away. You're one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time, as far as talent-wise, and we can look at the numbers. But he hasn't been great since 2021. Let's call it what it is. Because that 2022 season, he was kind of mid. 2023, he tore his Achilles. And then 2024, we seen he looked at mid. He looked good going towards the end of the season. But you can make an argument over these past 3 to 4 years, Aaron Rodgers has not looked like that Aaron Rodgers from 2021 or 2020 when he won the MVP. So the fact that the Steelers think that they're going to get that type of Aaron Rodgers, this is an old Aaron Rodgers. Now I'm talking about you're not getting the old Aaron Rodgers. You're getting an old Aaron Rodgers. So let the Steelers do what they want to do at this point, because at the gate, they got a little nice ass schedule. I don't know if people have been paying attention to the Pittsburgh Steelers, because their defense is still going to be there. Defense wins you championships. We've seen that with the Philadelphia Eagles against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles put belt to ass on the Kansas City Chiefs, even though over the past 10 years, that's probably the most dominant team we've seen over the past 10 years, that Philadelphia Eagles team. But if you look at the Steelers' schedule coming out the gate, this is why Aaron Rodgers need to get his old ass in camp and get some continuity with DK Metcalf. Now as we look at it, they got the New York Jets starting off week 1. Justin Fields gonna have a little chip on his shoulder because obviously y'all started Russell Wilson over him, never put him back in the starting lineup, so he got a chip on the shoulder with y'all. The Seattle Seahawks, DK Metcalf, old team, he's gonna want to crash out against his old team, and I'm pretty sure it may not be a good day for DK Metcalf, especially if Mason Rudolph is starting quarterback. Then you got the New England Patriots, they're gonna be a hell of an improved team. The Minnesota Vikings, we all know what they did last year. Hopefully JJ McCarthy can do what Sam Darnold did, but just do it even better. The Cleveland Browns gonna be a dog fight. It always is. When hopefully Shedeur is starting that day, and I hope Shedeur Sanders puts belt to ass on the Pittsburgh Steelers for passing up on them. Then you got the Cincinnati Bengals. We all know how great of an offense that offense is gonna be. Then you got the Green Bay Packers. If the Pittsburgh Steelers are not careful, they can start off like 2-4 in the first six games. Possibly on people keep saying 0-6. I don't see 0-6, but I do see a potentially a 2-4, 3-3 start if Aaron Rodgers don't get his ass up in the camp, mini camp, OTAs, training camp. I don't give a damn. It's time for him to if you're gonna sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, be a professional, sign the deal, get the deal done. Because I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing his name come up. I'm just like, we're treating this man like he Tom Brady. Hell no. So What I want one-legged Aaron Rodgers to do, sign whatever contract you finna sign, get in the camp, be a professional, because guys like Cam Hayward are not finna be begging you and to come into camp. They're already practicing and they're focused on winning a championship. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is. I think he's satisfied with his career. He just wants to do whatever he wants to do in the NFL. He wants to play on his terms, and he's going to retire on his own terms. But what I wish the Steelers would have did was draft a quarterback and leave his ass. As far as Aaron Rodgers, out of the league for good, and then everybody turn the page on him and be done. He go ride in the sunset, go on the beach and sit cross-legged, whatever the hell he does. So y'all let me know what y'all think. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, are you happy about the move that Aaron Rodgers could potentially be coming, or do y'all want the team to just move on and just get it over with? So y'all let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Y'all be smooth. I'll catch y'all in the next video.